Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, to our home base business chat. We do this fairly regularly, about every other Friday, but as we're getting back into it, we will be here next Friday again, just for those who watch the replay. So we thank everyone for either joining us today or watching the replay, where we talk about why now is the best time to start a business, why a home based business, the advantages of that, and why health and wellness, and why we've all chosen to be with Young Living. But before we share with you guys a lot of information and data, we always like to share our stories. So I'm going to turn it over to my sister Dana, and she's going to share with you a little bit about her story of how she got involved and why she thinks this is the best business ever.
Absolutely, absolutely. So welcome everybody. So look, this has been my jam lately. So I believe you deserve abundance. So I love everything that we're doing. And so I'm glad, whether you are watching the replay or you're here with us live, that you have made a decision to even open yourself up to the possibilities and hear about the opportunity. Because for me, I know, and I'll just talk my financial story. When Young Living first came into our lives, I was not in a good financial place. A lot of times I come across people that can't afford the kit, right? I actually couldn't afford the kit, right? I had been on bed rest with my son for 5 months. I, at the time, was working as an esthetician. If you know anything about the beauty industry, if you don't touch people, you don't make money. And I suddenly went on bed rest. I went to just simply see what sex I was going to have for an ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech left, came back and was like, Miss Mott, I need you to go straight to the ER and you need to have surgery in the morning. No explanation, didn't know what was going on. So obviously I had nothing saved up. I wasn't expecting to be in that position. So financially, we got very, very behind, because really what we had income wise was just keeping us afloat. It was keeping us from drowning, potentially. So for us during that period of time, it's like whenever we would hear a big truck, we were like, oh, they're not taking our car. Are they going to take our car? So again, financially, I couldn't see the big picture of things. My son, once he was born, was very sickly. So I would at times make a choice and a sacrifice. Do I get this prescription cream for him, or do I put gas in my car? Right. And so for me, I couldn't focus outside of that space. And so when the opportunity was presented to me, I wasn't open. I wasn't ready. And so because my older sister Tashina introduced me, and she knew my personality, I think that's super important, and she knew how much of a carer I am. I care about people. I want to help other people. She knew that if she approached it where I could see how these oils would benefit people health wise, I would naturally share. And that's really how my journey started. I was selling kits and didn't even know how to sell kits, right? I was sharing my oils. I remember my first kit, I gave a whole bottle of Joy away because it didn't smell good to me and I didn't know the value of any of these oils, right? Because that's where my heart and my space was. And so now as we progress and we look into our journey, because of having the extra income from Young Living, we have been able to pay off our mortgage. We've been able to pay off a car. We've been able to, my husband purchase his dream car. And I like to tell my portion of the story because I am not a Royal Crown diamond. I am not a diamond at all, right? But I want you to just think about what would happen in your household if you even just had an extra $200, an extra $500, right? So for many people, just an extra $200 or $500 could actually pay maybe a car note or car insurance, or even go towards their mortgage, right? And it could get them from feeling that space of just making it, right? Just making it. right? So when we're talking about this opportunity, we're not talking about this or that. We're talking about enhancing what you already have, right? So, what if with the business you have, or with your practice, or with your career, you just had a little extra? And so that's where really for me, my story began. That's how I got started. Again, for us, we're seeing the big picture. Now that I see what even just a little bit can do financially for somebody, I want to empower other people to do the same. I want other people that are less fortunate and maybe don't have opportunities to education or certain things with wherever they live to also have this same opportunity. Right now, my heart is really in Africa. I want to help empower people because I know that money in the hands of good people can do great things. So when we can teach and empower others to make an impact, it's going to trickle and help everybody. Everybody gets to eat. So that is my story. I will turn it back to you, Tashina.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll share a little bit about myself. And when I think about my story, I did for an early part of my career struggle a little bit when it came to the areas of finances, but I actually got to the year 2008, which here in the United States, if people are watching the replay, was what we had that was known as the big recession. And that was a pivot point for me. We almost lost our house. My ex-husband, then husband at the time, he lost his job and we were struggling financially. And something clicked in my brain where I said, I will never be in this position again. And I started to get better jobs and improve my income. And it was very, very good for me at the time. But at the same time, my health just started to decline because the trade-off that I needed to make was to work more hours, physically work more hours. And there would be times where I would be taking a call at 9 p.m. and get the question, do you really have to take that call? And my response would be, this is what 80,000 looks like. And my brain, that was the only option in order to be upper middle class, was to be a salaried position where you work whenever they tell you to work. And usually you work over 40 hours a week. That's what salary position means, is we can tell you to work over 40 hours a week now. And so I came into this world definitely because of the health reasons. I had did a couple of network marketing things in the past, and they did not fit my personality, or the products weren't all that good for me. But I came into this world and I had in 2012, I had gut issues, and then I had high blood pressure, and then I had hormone issues. And then I started to suffer from anxiety and depression because of all the sicknesses that I was experiencing. And so I was looking for solutions. And as I talked to everyone around me that was in my age group at that time, in their 30s, we all sounded like we felt like we were 50. We all had hormone issues and we all were exhausted. And I just decided in my head, there has to be a better way. I have to find a better way than this. And so I was Googling my way to good health. I was buying $200 worth of vitamins on Amazon or Vitamin World or Vitamin Shop. And I was hugging down these disgusting tinctures and just doing all these things, trying to get myself better. And then some of my friends started doing this little oil thing, which number one, I was totally like not going to be for, because I did network marketing in the past and it wasn't for me. It didn't work. And so I thought I was so for multiple streams of income, but I was going to do real estate or something different. Wasn't going to do any of those little home-based business things at all whatsoever. And then I had also bought a couple of essential oils from Amazon and they didn't work. So essential oils didn't work. But I was invited over an individual's house. She'd been my friend back in the day, hadn't hung out with her in a while. And I went over there to support her. Plus, I needed some social things in my life because at the time, again, I was so sick and I was feeling depressed. I went over there with the intention of not buying anything. Panaway was placed on my body and it relieved some tension that I had. 2 weeks later, I started using Ninja Red, and it completely changed how my energy levels were and how my body was absorbing minerals and vitamins. And 2 weeks later, I got joy in my life, and that completely changed my emotions. And so when all of that happened, I thought, I have to share this because the world needs to know. This stuff is different. This is just plants and food supplements, and the world needs to know. And that's how I started sharing, and I continue to share. And now at this point in time, I have a lot of individuals that I get to work with. And that is the biggest blessing when I chat with someone and like they're excited. They're like, "Wait, yeah, that stuff worked for me. I feel happier or have a little bit more energy." And you know that that's just the beginning, because as you continue to feed your body, like you're gonna a year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you're gonna have a Facebook message pop up and you're gonna be like, I forgot I even used to suffer like that. Like I've been feeling so good for so long. I forgot I was going through that back then. Because I know for me, in addition to all the stuff I already mentioned, I also couldn't breathe. I had allergies, I had eczema, I had all that. And I wasn't even trying to fix any of that because I had been thought that that was just how I was supposed to live. I was born that way. But I was able to get rid of all that stuff too. And I look back and see, oh yeah, I can breathe. And now, great respiratory support. And so that's one of the main motivations of why we share. But with that, we're going to go into the actual data that we usually share in this class. Again, about why now is the best time to start a business and why home-based business might be a great place for you to start. So we already talked about my story. And then I just love this slide. It is simple and powerful. These are companies that were created between 2008 and 2010. And again, look at the slide. How many of these companies do you use? How many companies do you recognize? So I use WhatsApp all day long, every day. That is the way that I communicate with the majority of my friends, especially if they don't live in the United States. I use Instagram all day long, every day. Now in this, we're doing this in 2021. We went through 2022, or we went through 2020, and like I probably use WhatsApp every day, but I mean, and Instagram every day, but now I mean I use them every hour. It is how I connect with people and feel connected. I never did Instagram video chat before or call people on WhatsApp all that much, but now it's like a weekly thing. That's how I see my friends and see their faces and do stuff. Venmo is a payment system that many people use. I recognize that. Square is also another payment system. So if you go to your little local tea shop or coffee shop and they have this big white thing that you slide your card, that's probably what their payment system is powered by Square. Groupon is my favorite way to get me a little bit more self-care. So I'll see a discount for a new massage place or a salt palace or something like that, and I'll get my self-care on discounted. Or maybe even when I'm traveling, sometimes we'll look for hotels there. Pinterest, half of the graphics and half of the quotes that I'm usually sharing with people come off of Pinterest. And Uber is the only way, Uber or Lyft is the only way that I travel from place to place if I'm in a city, if I'm traveling, because I don't like to rent a car and I get lost my first time trying to do stuff. So again, these companies were created during what we refer to as the Great Recession here in the United States. These companies were created then because they filled a need. Now again, why network marketing? Most people, if they get to the age of probably 25, somebody approached them about a network marketing company. And we understand that gives a negative taste in people's mouths. However, that's because a lot of times people approach it as sales, and sales in a sleazy way, in a pushy way. But there are some benefits of having a network marketing company, and there is a way to get trained where you're just able to share with people in a natural way. Some of those benefits is that you can build it part-time and anytime and from anywhere. We love this benefit. I currently still have a day job, a full-time day job, which I am transitioning out of within the next 12 months. And I usually work my side hustle during my off times. So I'm very frequently working on it in the evenings and a lot more on the weekends, on a lunch break, things of that nature. And when we entered this period in March of 2020, I did not have to change. I did not have to cancel any of the classes I had. I am an extreme extrovert and I love in-person classes. And when we had our spa parties here in Michigan, we did it up. We would get a massage therapist. You could get your foot soaked. You could try the makeup. We loved our spa in-person spa parties, but I was able to transfer our perfume parties and our spa parties and our education all to Zoom. We didn't have to miss a beat in our business because you can build it from anywhere. You can launch for as little as $500 to $1,000. And with the company that we love and trust, usually people do it for a little bit less. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and your business partners have a vested interest in you. So the way that it is structured is you get a percentage by helping people get it educated and helping them educate other people. You can create enough tax deductions alone to make it worthwhile. This is one of my favorite benefits. As I was telling my story earlier, as I went in 2008 and started to increase my income up through 2012 or so, I actually moved myself into another tax bracket. Now, a lot of that extra income would have gotten eaten up by taxes had I not had a home-based business to give me tax deductions. You can learn it while you earn it. So if I wanted to start another career, say I want to go into cosmetology or I want to be a lawyer, I would have to go to school for 1 to 8 years, depending on that career. And then I would start making money. But here you can actually start earning this day that you start consuming the products. And you can earn an extra 500, 1,000, 5,000, or more a month. We have individuals that are over and above the 500 and 1,000 per month. And we frequently do classes with individuals that are above that 5,000 per month. And with time and success, your income will be produced by hundreds, perhaps thousands. Now, here's some network marketing myths, some things that prevent people from actually getting started. So, getting in on the ground floor is the best path to success in a network marketing company. This is not true because network marketing companies are just like any other business. And any business fails 90% of them within the first 5 years. And so I actually have a degree in business. There is a business cycle, and you really want to get in a business when it's in the not in the beginning phase, but in the incline or the maturity phase. And in the maturity phase, you have a lot of stability, very little change. And so when it comes to what we're going to talk about today, health and wellness, that's something that's on people's minds. It's coming into the maturity phase, and it's a great time to get involved. Network marketing is the opportunity for someone who is not doing well financially to make a lot of money. And this is a myth because it's a half truth. So, Dana told her story at the beginning of this. She was an individual that was not doing well financially, her family, and she was able to use this to become debt free and pay off lots of things and get their dream car. And it has really helped their family financially. However, it is also an opportunity for someone like me. I'm in the top 8% income earners in my city, and I make plenty of money. But what I didn't have was my time, and that led to me not having good health. And so the opportunity that I'm looking for is more flexibility and time freedom. Network marketers succeed by being in the right place at the right time. And it kind of goes along with the next one. The big guys make all their money off the little guy. This, again, simply is not true. If you look at the payment structure and the way it is, yes, you help someone get started and you train and educate them, you do get a percentage off of them. However, the way that the payment structure is made is the individual that creates the bigger teams and more teams are the ones that make the most amount of money. Therefore, you get paid on your efforts. If you want to make more money, then you create more teams. Now, this slide is a little bit old. is from 2017, but we could probably Google and look up what direct sales by region is for last year. But the point of this slide is just to understand that this is a true market. It is regulated. There are rules to it. It is legal. It is great, and we have statistics for it. And right now, there are individuals that are making 85 billion on the continent of Asia in this industry. There is 38 billion on the continent of Europe of money that is being circulated. There's 36 billion in North America and 27 billion in South America, and lots of room for growth in Africa at 1.8 billion. So why health and wellness? So there's so many things when it comes to this, to starting a business, number one, or maybe even starting a home-based business or this type of home-based business that is network marketing or direct sales. Maybe you have a passion for jewelry or purses or something of that nature, but why would you want to consider possibly health and wellness? Well, the global wellness market reached approximately 4.75 trillion in 2019, and it is a growing industry at the rate of 6.4%. And it is a vast industry because it includes so many things such as complementary medicine, preventive medicine, healthy eating, nutrition, weight loss, spa economy, physical activity, personal care, beauty, anti-aging, and more. And why Young Living? Why have many of the individuals on this call decided that they want to form a part of the company Young Living and share it, creating their own home-based business? Well, Young Living owns their own farms or collaborates and sets the same standards with other farms. They are the only health and wellness company that has that type of standards. They have better than organic standards. Their industry leading research and testing, a lot of the scientific documentation that you will see on essential oils now comes from Young Living. They have a seed to sale promise that's unmatched in the industry. From the time that it is a seed, they have those better than organic standards, and they are in control of the entire process until that bottle is sealed for you and it comes to you, which is vastly different from any other essential oil company. Some other essential oil companies, they just create the oil. So someone else grows it, they get it, and then they send it to a bottler, or some essential oil companies only bottle it. So this is something that you will not find anywhere else. And it is something that you can feel in the products. The quality is unmatched. And then they have 25 plus years of experience. So they're now been in business for 26 years as a company, and they're going to approach their 27th year, but they had 10 years of research prior to that. There's low startup costs. We talked about that. An individual, there's nothing extra that you actually need to do to share with other people and get a referral bonus. And so you can do that with one of our starter kits, and those range from actually $125 up to about $250 with a lot of these different brands that we talked about. And so we also have the largest selection of essential oils. You will not find another company that has more blends and uses than we do. Oil infused products, so that personal care, that hair care, men's care, all types of different supplements, whole food supplements, and then toxic free lifestyle brands. And then just to touch a little bit on the potential. Again, Dana told her story, and she is at the level of executive where you can make on average about $500 extra a month. And that over the past few years has been enough to help her family get debt free. I am at the level of silver, which is where you make on average $2,000 per month. You then have the level of gold, which is what I'm working for toward in the next 3 months, where you make on average about $5,700. And then it goes up from there if you so choose. And that is the information that we wanted to share with you. I don't know, Sabrina, if you wanted to add anything on about your story and what you've enjoyed.
My story is a little bit different. I joined for the community and the travel. The person that came to me talked to me about how exciting it would be to do this together, to link arms, to have friends, and to travel different places. And I've actually done that. I've gotten some excellent friends, have a huge community here. Some people have become my mentors, some people have entered into my inner circle. But I have a huge support system here, and that was really huge for me. And then the travel has been amazing. I've only been in the States, but I've traveled to Utah, Texas several times, back and forth to Maryland, was able to relocate to Florida, travel to Tennessee, to Chicago. So it's been wonderful for me in that sense with the community and the travel. And so I'm hooked because of that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, the travel has been absolutely amazing. That's for sure. I love being able to have every single one of my trips be tax deductible because I'm always sharing. So just in the past year, even though we were mostly shut down, there was a couple periods where we were allowed to travel, and I did weekend trips with some of my friends, and I had my diffuser, and they all got thieves, hand sanitizer, and spray. And so, hey, and I did classes usually while I was there, at least one or two, because I always have a lot scheduled on like a Friday or a Sunday. And so it was a tax deductible trip because the whole entire time I was sharing with my friends, and they were experiencing things. They used the body wash, all the stuff, right? So
Yes.
every trip is tax deductible, and that's amazing, including when I went to the farm in Croatia. That was amazing. So a year and a half ago. So yeah, that is definitely an added benefit. So I don't know, Dana, any other things you want to reiterate or add from the presentation?
My husband's making a lot of noise, so not at this time.
Okay, can't hear him at all actually, but
He stopped so I could unmute to tell you that.
okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, so that is the information that we wanted to share with you guys today. Just as final thoughts, again, think about that first slide that we always go over about those companies that started when there was a recession and are now thriving, and companies that most of us, at least 50% of them, use on a regular basis. The reason why they're thriving is because they saw a need and they acted. And so if you personally have some health needs that you're working on and you see other people around you that have that need, that's really all that you have to do in order to say, hey, yeah, I think I want to at least share and get my oils paid for at the very least, because we'd love for everyone on our team to at least get to that level, right? Why pay for oils when you can get referral checks and get them for free? So if you're in that category that you're already part of the team and you want to learn more, we can show you, each of your team leaders can show you either some type of online system that either exists in Facebook or maybe on an online system of where you can learn to get trained to share. And you can ask, where are some of your business information and business classes so that I can share on a regular basis? And if you're watching the replay and you're not yet part of the Young Living family, then make the decision and the action to join us today. So that is what we want to share with you guys. With that, we will close out this class unless there's any questions anyone has. And if not, we'll make the replay available to everyone so they can rewatch it or share it with others. Oh, there was a question. You said, are all the companies US-based companies? You know what? I don't know that. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I know that, wait, Uber is actually part of Toyota. Where is Uber based? Okay, Uber is actually based in San Francisco. So it must have been a collaboration. That's a good question, Dana. I'll have to look those up. Because even those people, if they took advantage of our market and they're not in the US, they're even smarter. What country? I'm looking up WhatsApp too, because since it's international, I'm curious about that one. That was created in California, but by a Ukrainian American. So yeah, really good. I'm gonna look up the rest of them just for curiosity's sake. So that was a good question. All right. Thank you guys. Everyone have an amazing afternoon and evening. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.